Hello learners and welcome to the course Tribes of North and Northeastern Region of India. The course code is BSW044 and we have been studying about the various tribes. Today we will be studying about the tribes of Manipur. So without any further ado, let me introduce Manipur to you. Manipur, it is one of the 8 states that comprise the northeastern states of India. Bordering the state is Myanmar, which is now known as Burma, in the east, Nagaland in the north, Assam in the west, and Mizoram in the southwest. Imphal is the capital of the state. There are other ethnic groups that constitute the people of the state. They are the Meiteis, the Chin, Zomi, Kuki, and the Nagas. The Meiteis are the majority community in Manipur, comprising almost 58% of the total population, while the Nagas and Chin Zomi Kuki tribes make up to about 36%. Now the Pangal, which is in Manipuri known as the Muslims, make up the rest of approximately 6%. Meiteis and the Pangal inhabit the plains of Imphal Valley and tribal communities lie scattered along the hilly regions of the state. The Chin, Zomi, Kuki and the Nagas are umbrella names of various tribes. As per the Scheduled Castes and Scheduled Tribes list, that is Modification Orders 1956, Part 10, Manipur Gazette, Extraordinary, Part 2, Section 1, dated 7th January 2003. The Constitution of India recognizes a total of 33 tribal communities, both Chin, Zomi, Kuki and the Nagas in Manipur. Now, when you talk about the 33 tribes in Manipur, who are they? What are their names? Well, they are Aimol, Anal, Angami, Thiru, Chote, Gangte, Mar, Kabui, Kachanaga, Karam, Koirao, Koireng, Kom, Kuki, Lamkang, Mao, Maram, Maring, Lusei, Monsang, Moyon, Paite, Purum, Paumai, Ralte, Sema, Simte, Sukte, Tangkhul, Tarau, Thado, Vaipe and Zo. Now the Tangal, Zemi and Mate tribes are still in the process of being recognized as scheduled tribes. Tau Pangpan was the name of the present Manipur. For about 700 years, yes, as long as 700 years ago, there was no ruler of Tai Po Pang or Manipur. It was during this period, approximately 34 to 18 BC, that Thongarel or Kham Nung Sowa, the great man of the Nung tribe, was invited to rule over the Tai Pong Pan, that is the present Manipur. Centuries later, it was during the reign of Maharaja Bayan Chandra, that is between 1763 to approximately 1798, which is also known as Chingtang Khomba, that a new religion was introduced in Manipur. And what was the new religion? The new religion was known as the Chaitanya sect of Vaishnavism. With it came a number of social and customary changes in the Manipuri society. King Garib Niwaj also promoted this religion and made it into a state religion. He invited Shantidas Goswami, a Bengali priest from Selhat, to Manipur. Now, after this, what happens is that the Bengali priest became an integral part of the administrative structure in Manipur. With this, the Sanskritization process evolved. Now, we all know what Sanskritization process is, and Meitei gods were transformed to align with the gods of the Hindu mythology. So, Pakhangba became Shiv Mahadev, and the representation of the dragon god was transformed into the snake god Ananta of the Hindus. Panthoibi, the god of prosperity and of war, became Durga in Manipuri. Thangzing, that is the supreme god of the Moirang kingdom, was attempted to be personified as Vishnu. It was also during this time that the Meitei script was, for the first time, published in 1877 AD for the Asiatic Society of Bengal. So you see there's a little bit of similarity between the Meitei script and the Bengali script, and we shall learn more about it. The then Bengali government donated a few books and started teaching Bengali script and English. The Meitei script was considered obsolete and Bengali was adopted as the main script, and hence the similarity. With the redundancy of the ancient social practices, religions and the Meitei script, the Meiteis became a part of what may be considered as a mainstream Hindu state, thereby losing its tribal attributes. Tribals, therefore, in Manipur comprise only the Chin-Zomi Kuki and the Naga tribes. Now, little bit more about Manipur since we are introducing Manipur to you. Manipur literally means jeweled land. The state has a total area of 22,327 square kilometers approximately. The total population of Manipur is more than 25 lakhs as per the 2011 census. The state has 9 administrative districts which are Imphal East, Imphal West, Thoubal, Bishenpur, Ukhrul, Senapati, Tamenglong, Chandel and Churuchandpur. Surrounded by blue hills with an oval-shaped valley at the center, rich in art and tradition and surcharged with nature's pristine glory, Manipur is a melting pot of culture. So many tribes, so many culture coming together in one place. It is birthplace of horse polo. That's a very famous game. We will learn more about it towards the end. This is also the place where Rajashri Bhagyachandra created the famous Ras Leela, the classical dance of Manipur. Along with these are a number of folk dances and songs from the diverse hill tribes of Manipur. These pristine glamour and values of both the people in the hills and the valley inspired such people as Mrs. St. Clair Grimwood to describe it as, and I quote, "a pretty place, most beautiful than many show places of the world," quote unquote. It was late Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru who paid a fitting tribute by describing it as the jewel of India, and indeed it is. After India attained independence in 1947, Manipur, which was a princely state, declared independence but was integrated into the Indian Union in October 1949 as a Part C state. In 1956, Manipur was given the status of a union territory and was given full statehood in 1972. Now, after having heard about a brief about Manipur, let us now discuss about some of the prominent tribal groups within the state. Now, as mentioned before, that there are 33 tribal groups which are recognized in Manipur. Now, their population is more than 28 lakhs. More than 28 lakhs tribal groups in Manipur according to 2011 census. Now, out of this, 58.9 represent the valley population, that is the Meitei who are not a tribe, and 41.1% represent the population of the hills. So, in Manipur what we see is there's a valley and there's a hill. So, there's a valley population and the hill population. The valley mostly inhabited by the Meitei group and the hill mostly inhabited by the scheduled tribe group or the tribal group. Of the total scheduled tribes in Manipur, Thado is the largest scheduled tribe population, that is according to 2011 census. Now, other major tribes with high population are the Tangkhul, the Kabui, Paite, Mar, Kachanaga and the Vaipai. Now, the tribes are differentiated mainly from their distinctive dialects, customs, cultures and tradition. Although it is a general belief that if you are from a certain tribal background from a particular district, then your dialect is similar. However, it is not so. Every tribal group within Manipur have their own distinctive dialects. It is somewhat similar to one another, but definitely for the uninitiated, it is a different story altogether. Now, despite the socio-political and linguistic differences among them, all the ethnic tribes originate from the same Mongoloid group, having similarities in cultural and traditional domains. Let us now discuss the major tribes of Manipur that we have been hearing about. First of all, I would like to talk to you about the Kabui Naga. Their population is more than 1 lakh according to 2011 census. The word Kabui is still a mystery to the Kabui themselves. It is an alien word of which no definite origin is known to the Kabuis. The Kabuis nowadays call themselves Rongmei. It is a combination of two words, Rong and Mei, meaning south and people respectively. Now, many Kabui villages are found in the plains of Manipur, Assam and few settlements in Nagaland. Their legend also believe that they come out of a cave which was blocked by a big stone and later removed by a mithun, which is a cattle. Now, the Kabui word is considered to be a corruption of Apui, meaning mother, which they worship as goddess Leimeren. They speak Meitei language well and has close interaction with the Meiteis of the plains. The Kabui is divided into 4 exogamous clans, and they are Kamei, Gangmei, Langmei and Ganmei. Now, the main occupation of the Kabui tribe is cultivation, and they practice jhum system in the hills and wet cultivation in the plains. Some of their crops are maize, soya bean, pumpkin, gourd, ginger, tomato, chili and groundnut. Many of you must have heard about the famous Raja Mirchi of Manipur. So this is where it comes from. Carpentry, weaving, basketry are some of the example in the cottage industries. They are considered to be one of the most skilled craftsmen of Manipur. Facilities of education, medical care and employment programs have reached them well, and their population consists of scholars, administrators, teachers, doctors, nurses, entrepreneurs, etc. They are also actively involved in the political scene in Manipur. Now, Lengmei and Zamei, also called Kachanagas, the Zamei and Lengmei are separated by rivers and mountain barriers, and their dialect are different from one another. Meitei Lon is the lingua franca of the people, and they use Roman character. According to their belief, the supreme god Tarawang created the universe and gave human being shelter in the cave. Now, let us talk about the Mao. Their population is approximately 93,000 according to 2011 census. The Mao tribe inhabit the hill regions to the supreme extreme north of Manipur on Highway 39. The Mao as such is a village or place, and the people are Maomei or Imemei. The Angamis of Kohima call them as Shipfumei. The literacy rate among tribes in the Mao area are high. They actively participate in politics at Imphal, and several professionals are also there, such as doctors and engineers are also coming out of this tribe. Now, majority of them are agriculturists and cultivate terrace paddy fields. They rear cows, buffaloes, pigs, fowls, etc. At present, the regional potato farm is located at Mao and assists the nearby village in growing more potato through modern techniques. Mao is also a commercial center and station for tourists, buses and commercial trucks plying through the Imphal-Dimapur road. Let us talk about the other tribe, the Paite tribe. They live in Churachandpur district in southern Manipur, along with Thado, Vaipe, Gangte, Mar and others. They were referred to as Chin Kuki group in the past. They also believed in supreme god Pathian and believed to have originated from a cave or kul. Total population is around more than 5 lakhs as per the 2011 census. Now, you must be wondering what I am wearing. Well, what I am wearing right now is one of the traditional attire of the Paite tribe, which is known as Puandum, and this is usually worn in various occasions and in various ceremonies. Now, the Paite tribal people also practice jhum cultivation, as it is their main occupation on the slopes near the villages. Folk song and folk tales related to everyday life and culture of the people are orally passed through generations. They are an educated group of tribes and participate actively in local and state politics. Now, let us understand about the Tangkhul tribe within Manipur. The Tangkhul live in the Ukhrul district in the east. According to their legend, 2 groups led by 2 brothers went out to seek suitable places for settlement. Now Khoka, the brave elder brother led his people to southeast, while the younger brother found the fertile plains and settled there, which later came to be known as the Manipur Valley. They believe they migrated from Mekel village in Senapati district like the other Naga tribes. The total population of Tangkhul more than 1 lakh as per 2011 census. Let us talk about the Thado tribe. Now the Thado tribe have the highest population among the tribes in Manipur. They are more than 2 lakhs according to 2011 census. Their communities are dispersed in several districts of Manipur. The history of this community is found in oral traditions including folklores and folk tales. Their origin traces like other tribes of Manipur to a cave at the origin of Gun River, which is now known as the Imphal River. They can be identified by the traditional designs of the shawls. Now this makes me want to inform all of you that each of these tribal groups within Manipur and other parts that we've been discussing about, they all have the traditional pattern in their shawls, in their wraparound, which for example the Assamese they're known as Mekhela Chador, and for other tribals they're known as Puanting. So every tribe have their distinct color, distinct pattern, distinct designs, and they use it for different occasions. Now coming back to the Thado, as I mentioned, they can be identified by the traditional designs of the shawl. Now which are marked in black with a few stripes of red. The design is simple and devoid of any geometrical figures. Now they speak the Thado language. The price of a bride is taken in the form of mithun, gongs, beads and necklaces, though it is not practiced anymore. Marriage is through negotiation known as Naila. The groom arrives at the bride's residence along with his associates, and this is followed by a lavish feast. Now basketry, poultry, weaving and cane work are the traditional crafts of the Thados. Although agriculture is the main occupation of many Thados, the younger generations have taken up jobs in professional fields in the government services, teachings, etc. They also participate actively in local and state politics. Now, let us know about the Vaipe. Now the Vaipe also live in the Churuchandpur district. Their dialect is Vaipe and slightly different from the Gangte, Zhou and Paite dialect. Their speech is closer to Gangte but spelled similar to Paite again. They use Roman character. The major economic source is the jhum cultivation from paddy and depend on forest products. They live in one of the highest literature and education areas in Manipur. Their population is more than 42,000. Now coming back to Mar. The Mars are mainly concentrated in the southern region of Manipur at Tipaimukh and Churuchandpur. They also have population in Chachar, North Chachar and Aizawl district of Mizoram. They are one of the highly educated Christian communities of Manipur tribes. The first Christian missionaries to the southern Manipur, Watkin Roberts of Wales, arrived in 1916 in a Mar village at Sainvon. Their population is more than 48,000 as per 2011 census. Now that we have learned something about the tribals in Manipur, now we know the Vaipe, the Mar, the Paite, the Thado, the Tangkhul. Now let us look at their customs. Now the tribal customs and practices define the very essence of tribal society in Manipur. Customary laws and practices regulate not only the day-to-day life of the community with regard to issues such as governance, marriage, land ownership, religious affiliation, chieftainship, and clan issues, inheritance and administration of justice, but they also form an integral part of a harmonious cohabitation between the tribal society in the state. These have evolved over a long period of time based on certain norms and values that have been a result of a common consciousness and reverence to them by all members of the tribe. Now, these customary laws and protocols have also come to occupy an important place in a tribal society's worldview. Its interaction with other non-tribal communities, its notion of contemporary times and vision of the future. There are various definitions of customary laws. One definition argues that customary laws are customs that are accepted as legal requirements or obligatory rules of conduct, practices and beliefs that are so vital and intrinsic a part of the social and economic system. By another account, customary law consists of established patterns of behavior that can be objectively verified within a particular social setting. The modern codification of civil law developed out of the customs of the Middle Ages, expressions of law that developed in particular communities and slowly collected and written down by local jurists. Such customs acquired the force of law when they become the undisputed rule by which certain entitlement, that is rights, entitlement is also known as rights, or obligations were regulated between members of a community. Now another definition looks at customary laws as locally recognized principles and more specific norms or rules which are orally held and transmitted and applied by community institutions to internally govern or guide all aspects of life. From these definitions, it is evident that within the domain of customary laws, aspects such as legal, religious, and the body of norms, practices, taboos, values, and moral standards are essential to the analysis of culture as a regulatory mechanism of a society in an ever-changing environment. Now, despite being clubbed together as tribal communities, the Chin, Kuki, Mizo group and the Naga group comprise of many tribes with certain characteristics that are so dissimilar that often they are identified as a group with no cultural affinity with the tribes in Manipur. For instance, in Manipur there exists a community which sees itself as descendants of the Manasseh tribe, which is one of the 10 lost tribes of Israel. Now these people have Chinese appearance and they claim that after their forefathers were exiled and enslaved by the Assyrians, they somehow escaped from slavery and arrived in China. Later on, they moved to the Chinese-Burmese border and much later on to the neighboring East India. Among the Manipuri Jews, there are some who believe that all the Manipur and Mizoram residents, about 2 million people, are originally from the Manasseh tribe. It is in this diversity of tribes in Manipur that the cultural and social life of the tribals in Manipur will be examined. Differences will be there, but certain traditional commonalities are also definitely there. Such an assessment will highlight a common ground for better appreciation of the diversity in the state. Now with this, we'll come to the end of this session and we'll continue more about the tribals in Manipur in the next class. I hope you're able to learn significantly about the various major tribes in Manipur and its customs. Thank you.